I know it'll make some people upset with this one. I know some people, this is gonna start an argument. The internet is a place for arguing anyway. That's what it's turned into. This is, if there's gonna be a place where you're gonna cause some trouble, I figure the internet is the place to go. So here I am. This is my chance, good buddy, to be a part of the chaos. This is my chance to get something started. Make sure you follow along on this. You got to follow on to the whole end of the story, the whole end of the video for it to make sense. I've been for the last 2 months. I've been keeping pretty much all the fish that I catch. What color you gonna catch? What kind of fish you catching today? Bro, what kind of fish you gonna catch?
I'm gonna catch.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. That is a beautiful one. That's a red ear. You can tell it red ear because obviously right here on this gill plate it has that little red dot. That is a pretty one. That's a good gill. Oh yeah, look how big that thing is, Brooks. Holy smokes. See which one that is. That's a good one. Outside of the few tournaments that I fish, when I go fishing, I've been keeping fish. Let me tell you what I mean. When I say keeping fish, I mean killing them. Chop, chop. Knocking the sides off of them. I've been killing some fish. Now I know that's taboo. That's taboo amongst bass fishermen especially. We don't like to keep fish, we like to preserve. We call it conservation. There's a thin line between conservation and management, harvesting. I'm not sure that we understand that line right now. But I've been knocking the sides off of them. Some bass, crappie, some brim. I've kept striper. We've kept catfish. I mean, pretty much if we caught it, we've kept it. Stayed in the limits. So I know somebody will be in the comment section. Well, Brian, you gotta make sure you follow the DNR standards. I got you, Daryl. Okay, Kobe, I got you. We've been following the law. Ain't no contraband over here. You ain't gotta call the police. We've been doing what we're supposed to do. I got one. That's probably a big one. It is a big one. At least twice. No, probably at least twice a day. We'll be fishing. We'll find a brim bed or something. And as we're fishing, you'll be reeling in one of the little brim. Every time, like a 3-4 pound bass comes up trying to eat the fish that you have on your line. Casting those dirt. Oh, look at the bass behind him. Look at the bass behind him. Look at that big spot behind him. He's gonna eat that brim. Look, let's see if we can get him to hit it. Look at all the bass. Y'all cast at it. Don't just sit there, cast your jigs. Cast right there at the, look at all the bass. There's like 4 bass following it. Yes, 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 yes. You might catch the bass. Hey, did you see him? As controversial as that part is of this, keeping bass, killing them, eating them, oh my God, you know how bass fishermen are. As controversial as that is, that's not what I'm talking about here when I say I'm jumping into this world of chaos, clickbait, whatever you want to call it. That's not what I'm jumping into right here. There's one thing that I've noticed after keeping fish for, I don't know, 4 trips, probably the last 40 or 50 fish that I've cleaned. There's one thing that I've noticed. There's a huge misconception about this, and I feel like nobody's talking about it. And that huge misconception is that crappie is the best tasting fish. Let me know what you think. I got my own opinions about what the best tasting fish is, okay? I don't think it's crappie. Fight me, bro. I don't listen, I said it. Crappie, listen to me. Let's zoom in right quick. Crappie, listen. Bobby, listen to me, Bobby. Calm down. You type it. Come back to the video, because I know you type right now. Listen, crappie ain't the best tasting fish. I'll tell you why crappie ain't the best fish. It is not the best tasting fish. Crappie is not the best tasting fish for me because, number one, crappie is kind of mushy. It's real soft. I can't get with the texture. I can't get with the texture. I said it. I can't get with the texture of crappie. Now let me zoom out. I can't get with it. I don't know what it is. I don't care how long I fry it. I don't care what batter. It just has this soft, mushy, like it almost ain't cooked texture in my mouth. And I can't stand that. Secondly, if you're still in, listen, if you already went to the comment section and blowing me out. Secondly, I feel like crappie meat. Listen, crappie meat. I'm backing y'all away this time. Hey, last time I zoomed in, this time I'm zooming out. Listen, crappie meat is bland. It's bland. It don't have no taste. I put it in my mouth, and if you don't have, like, if the batter doesn't have the most salt and seasoning in it, it just don't have no taste. It ain't got no taste, man. So, I don't, it ain't my favorite. Hey, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Y'all say what you want. Listen, I get the luxury of making the confirmation in my own video. Let's ask my son. He's been fishing with me. Hey, stop a minute. Which one tastes better, brim or crappie?
Brim, for sure.
Why?
It's got better texture and it just has more flavor.
Let's go, baby! I told y'all. Just that bland meat. Y'all keep eating that bland meat. I'm gonna keep eating all the other stuff. Matter of fact, I got a favorite one. I got a favorite fish. Now I know, like, a lot of people are probably curious of why I've been doing so much pan fishing lately and doing some other stuff besides bass fishing. That's all strategic. And honestly, I think for bass fishing, there's a lot of things that you guys can learn and a lot of techniques, a lot of mechanics that you can get better at by doing other things other than bass fishing. So for me, I've learned a lot about the things that bass eat. I've learned a lot of things about how bass move. I've learned a lot of things, like been able to get the reps in mechanics wise by doing other styles of fishing, i.e. crappie fishing, striper fishing. One of the ways that I learned how to read electronics, like finding fish with graphs, this is long before we got into this era with forward facing sonar and all the other stuff that we have. But one of the ways that I learned how to do all that stuff and find fish offshore was actually fishing for striper in the wintertime. I used to like intentionally go and look for striper for the longest, just because, well, number one, it was fun, but it helped sharpen my skills. We'll talk about that a little bit in this video. I caught the biggest crappie last night.
I think I caught a crappie, but
I guess I was the only one to really actually catch one then, wasn't I? Talking about that. That one fish you lost right at the boat.
yeah.
You ever seen anybody make a table like this?
No.
I know, it's kind of crazy, huh? I'm gonna put this in between the two and it'll be just like a table. See?
Yep.
And then we'll clean our fish right here. Me and my boys went fishing yesterday, and you want to go bring me a couple fish? Go bring me a couple fish. We went fishing yesterday at night. We don't ever go fishing at night, and we caught a couple crappie. I think there's a white bass in there. It's a lot of fun. It's something we don't usually get to do. Bring him right here and set him right here.
Oh.
Is he that big, Brooks? He's not even that big.
Tiny.
Yeah, I know. Let me know if this sounds like you, though. Have you, you know, we're getting towards summertime, and you get towards summer, fishing is not quite as easy as it's been in the spring. If you live in the Carolinas, you live in Georgia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Fishing from about, honestly, January, our wintertime fishing is fun, but from about February, mid-February, up until right about now, fishing's pretty easy. But when you start to get in June, July, it gets a lot harder. I know I I don't really like to go bass fishing, at least in July, August. Bruce, can you bring me a spoon out of the house? You can't?
No.
Bring me a spoon out of the house.
There's ants on one of the fishes.
Huh?
There's ants on one of the fishes.
There's ants on one of the fish?
Yeah.
Anyway, fishing can be a little tougher the further we get into summer. And I was having this conversation with some people in my school just last week. I don't care where you live in the country. I don't care where you go fishing. Wait a minute, I'm not ready for that one yet. Let's just do one at a time. At some point during the season, the fishing starts to get a little tougher. And I always encourage people not to bang your head against the wall bass fishing. There's more stuff out there that you can catch and have fun with. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's very important to do that. Because if you bang your head against the wall just bass fishing, keep going, they're not biting. You're getting 2 bites, 3 bites, 4 bites. For you young kids, it don't matter, because I remember I was like that when I was younger. When I was in my 20s, I didn't care. I didn't have to catch a fish a lot of times to be happy. I would just go fishing. It didn't matter. I just wanted to be on the water. You got limited time on the water. You can't fish all the time. It's not like you get to go when you want to. You get 2 Saturdays a month, or every Saturday for 2 months, and then you kind of got to go back and take care of your responsibilities. Go to birthday parties, go to practices, do all the stuff that you have to do as an adult. And so you got to get reps in. You have to catch fish to be able to get better at fishing. And that doesn't always mean you have to be bass fishing. The reps doesn't always have to be bass fishing to get better at it. So, hence why you see me cleaning these crappie right now. Last week or 2 weeks ago, Brooks, you remember we went brim fishing just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Went brim fishing just 2 weeks ago. And the whole reason for me doing that is my buddy Bobby Barrett. If you never heard Bobby Barrett before, that's probably he is the best fishing teacher that there is, that exists. We were talking about keeping the candle lit is the verbiage that he used with fishing. Keeping the candle lit means, keeping that fire going about fishing. Because if you keep banging your head against the wall, keep just going bass fishing and getting 1 bite, 2 bites, 3 bites, but you're gonna get that at some point this year. It's not gonna be as fun as it was earlier in the year. At some point that wears you out. You're burning all your resources. It's expensive to go fishing. It's $140 for gas and fuel, and for gas and fuel, it's the same thing, Brian. You'll spend $140, $200 just for a fishing trip. Bring me another fish, Brooks.
Okay.
And if you don't get results, that's gonna get old, man. So you wanna be able to get some reps in. That's how you get better. It's catching fish. That's how you learn what hooks work best. That's how you learn what rods work best. That's how you learn how to set the hook. So much of the mechanics that I have with fishing, it really didn't come from bass fishing. You know why? Because in bass fishing, you don't get enough reps. You don't catch enough fish. On your home lake, what's a good day of fishing? Let me know in the comment section, what is a good day of fishing for you? I bet it's somewhere around 5 to 10 bites a day. Think about it. That's only 5 to 10 times you get to practice setting the hook, practice or see if you're using the right colors, check your rod actions, see if you're using the right pound test line, or learning how to use the drag. You only got 5 or 6 opportunities to test all that stuff. How are you going to get better? How are you going to know what gear to use if that's all you get is those few opportunities every time you go fishing? What I want to encourage you to do, and what I want to challenge you to do, instead of doing that, where you only get those 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 opportunities, what if you learn how to catch white bass? What if you learn how to go take your kids out crappie fishing? Which crappie, I think, is one of the hardest ones to catch, to be honest with you. That's a big one, Brooks. That's a big old crappie. Oh, you dropped him. You dropped my crappie, man. Come on, bruh. Don't drop my crappie. One thing I would change. Wow, look at that one. That's one of the ones we caught last night. That's a big one. Jeez, he is not small. Who caught this one?
You.
I didn't I? Forgot what I was saying. This is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started fishing. Let me know if you can relate to this. What's one thing that everybody says that will make you a better fisherman? They all say, you need more time on the water. I'm gonna tell you why that's not exactly true. Time on the water, yes, that's a part of the formula, but there's something very, very important that people leave out when they're talking about becoming a better fisherman. What do you want to, you just want to win your club tournament. Does that sound familiar? You just want to go out with your friends and family and you just want to have fun. You just want to feel a tug on your line. You want to be able to go out. You bought this boat, you're making these payments. You've been to all your kids' football practices and soccer practices. For me, going to moto every weekend. When I get a little time to myself, I just want to go out on the lake and have fun. I ain't got to win the Bassmaster Classic. I ain't got to make the BPT. You just want to go have fun. Does that sound like something that maybe you can relate to? I'm gonna tell you the secret to that. I'm gonna tell you the secret to being able to have fun and catch you a few fish on the water. Just going out haphazardly, spending time on the water is it's just gonna burn all your money up. You're gonna spend a lot of time, and you watch at the end of the year, you're probably not gonna be any better of a fisherman than you are now. You wanna get better? You gotta be intentional. You gotta have a plan. Let me tell you what I mean by that, because I know just saying that doesn't really do you any good. What I'm talking about is when you put your boat in the water, you have a set goal, a target that you're trying to reach. So that might look like, today I want to go learn how to catch fish on a jig. You put a jig in your hand, you find favorable water for fishing the jig, whether that be deep, shallow, fishing structure, fishing docks, whatever the case may be, and you learn how to fish that bait. You want to learn how to fish stained water. You put your boat, you head to the stained water, you put baits in your hand that are good for fishing stained water, and you do that over and over and over until you get a good understanding of how to catch fish in stained water. That's what being intentional is about. And that's really the only way you're going to get good at fishing, is doing something where you're intentionally, deliberately seeking out information for something that you're probably not that good at. It won't come from just time on the water. You got to be intentional. You got to have a plan. All right, so you want to know my opinion? This is my opinion. I never did tell y'all, best tasting freshwater fish to me, brim. I didn't grow up eating brim, and this year since I've been fishing with my boys almost every night or at least 2 or 3 times a week, brim by far succulent, so the perfect texture is stiff, so it doesn't just fall, like I can eat it with a fork. It's sweet, it has taste to it, it fries really well. I don't have to put a lot of salt on it. I don't have to put a lot of seasoning on it. I literally can just put it in my fish batter. Listen, put it in the fish batter, fry them in the grease, and pop him in my mouth. I fry him whole. I take the head off, clean them guts out of his rib cage, and fry the whole thing. I eat the fins, I eat the meat, I eat around the rib cage, I eat all of it. That's my favorite fish. If you haven't already, let me know what your favorite fish is.